Hi there and welcome back to the channel. On the bench is a Sony KX, wow, okay, let's have a look, remember it, KX-20PS1. This is a mid-1980s semi-professional, Profeel, I think they used to call it. Sort of feels like Pro, but maybe not be. Sony Trinitron monitor, and it's got some speakers attached to the side, and it's got lots of weird and wonderful inputs on the back. These were given to me by the WeLoveCRT guys, David and his team, and basically asked, can you get them going? And there's two of them. This is the first one, and it is a bit of a mess, and in fact both of them are a bit of a mess, and what he asked me to do was to get one of them working. So use the other one for spares, whatever, just to try and get one of these working for his gaming setup at WeLoveCRTs. And they're a very iconic monitor. These were used in all sorts of TV shows and various things. I think even it might have been even Holly. Was it Holly or in Red Dwarf on the cart? I think it was one of these monitors, and his face was on that moving around. It might have been something else, I can't remember, but yeah, it's sort of been used in broadcast setups and displays and all sorts of stuff like that back in the day. They're pretty uncommon. These ones have been through the wars, absolute through the wars. They're covered in mud. God knows what's going to happen on it inside. I did smell burning from this one. I'm not entirely sure. I did a little bit of a pre-check before I started the video up because I knew these ones might be entertaining, and I just wanted to see how they were set up and so forth. And I sort of got a raster, but then there was a smell, and I thought, okay, I think I better do the video before the thing absolutely pops its clogs, and I haven't got the camera rolling. So, they're a really nice set. They've got on-off button there. This glass screen comes off, and you can get to the controls here on the front, and it does automatic or C cam, so auto is probably PAL NTSC. Sharpness, oh well, okay, what is it? Sharpness, contrast, brightness, colour, hue, because if you're doing an NTSC signal then you need a hue, because is it never the same colour twice? NTSC, never the same colour twice, yeah. Treble and bass for the sound, and volume. Now, on the sides, and I've only got one on here because the other one's in my house, you've got these little speakers, these lovely little speakers. They're quite weighty as well. You've got these huge, great big grab handles, and yeah, and they work really well to transport it around. On the back here you've got the outputs for the audio, you've got video DIN, you've got audio and RCA, BNC, command, that's probably something to actually switch it on and off and do things. You've got RGB multi-input, and then you've got some sort of, it's like a connector, similar to like a floppy disk connector, but it's not, it's RVB, I think it is. So the other speakers indoors. This is again, these brackets come off so you can do things. And on the other side there's not much else. So these things are rare. These are rare. They're not that common. They're just run into the ground basically. They're generally very good, so people keep hold of them and then they literally burn the tubes out, and that's the end of that. So I don't know what type of picture we're going to get from either of these, if we're going to get anything at all. What I want to do is, I did smell burning from this, and I can still smell it right now. If only YouTube did smell-o-vision when it comes to doing this type of stuff. It's quite acrid. Yeah, I'm going to take the cover off, and it's a big old TV to manage. So I'm going to take the cover off, and we're going to have a look inside. So now the cover's off, it stinks even more. Oh yeah, I think something has popped on this one. The chassis is an SCC 404A-A. More traditional H-stat there. You've got power supply down there. You've got RGB and that RVB board here. Very long neck tube. Very, very, very long neck tube. Here you've got the audio board with the audio amplifier for the speakers. I think that's probably a deflection board of some sort, or actually it might be the control board actually. So deflection might be down here somewhere. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting build. Big old cap on it. The yoke doesn't look corroded. It's very dirty. This whole unit is very, very dirty. In fact, the actual boards extend all the way down in there, so it's not just a power supply down here, it goes all the way to the front. So yeah, so that's the deflection board and power. Yeah, this is definitely looks 1980s. This is a 1980s Sony in a nutshell. I can look at some of the chips in a minute and see what year. On this side here we've got a sticker here saying removal and insertion of the flyback cable. Pull the rubber cap up, push the cable down and turn 90 degrees. So you can actually physically remove the cables. It's like a BNC connector sort of style, maybe. Push the cable down, turn it 90 degrees. Oh, hang on, let's sorry, I'm looking at it, but your thing. So this is the label on the side. It says removal insertion of flyback transformer cable. So it gives you instructions on how to actually remove and insert the actual connector. Yeah, that's really interesting. On the side here is warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger. You've got a fairly big hot chassis, I would have thought. Can't see any big transformers. Let's get a brush and see what we have down here. You know, this tube might be alright. The colour of that there is not far off of the rest of the caps, because this is the end of the electron gun that gets hot with the heaters, and the metal, if it's been run for a long time, the metal changes colour. But it's not far off the rest of the other ones, which is interesting. Yeah, it's very dusty. It also might be venting something, because yeah, it absolutely stinks. So some chip, there's a chip just here, which again at some point I'll have a look and see what year that is. I think it's quite serviceable. This all seems to come apart and it's on a hinge. It seems reasonably serviceable. Let's come back a little bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. I'm tempted to just open it up a little bit and have a look and see what's going on inside. So I'm going to actually open that door and see what's there. This looks like the video processing board. Got a delay line there. A few other chips. That chip is an UPC 1365C, maybe some sort of decoder, early jungle chip type thing. Not sure. Then on this board here, you've got some amplifiers there for the speakers. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So, okay. I think I'll put that board back together again and then let's see what's venting. Let's have a bit of fireworks. So I've taken the neck tube, neck board off and pulled away some of the other, the RGB components and stuff like that. I want to pull that out as well. I don't really want to start this up because when I first started it up, I heard a noise and very slowly I could smell something that had burnt, or it was more capacitor juice burning. So there's no point in me starting it up and it's not going to work. I'd rather actually wait, check out the power supply, even replace some of the caps which look really awful in there, and then start it up. I'm not going to do a recap, like a full recap, and then try it. I did see spots on the actual tube, so I know there's high voltage. I did see a little bit of a wobbly picture, like a wobbly white raster, or like a grey raster, and it was fading in and out. So I think it was capacitors basically letting rip. So yeah, so I want to take a bit more of this apart. I'm just going to document all of where these cables go. And again, that goes on there. So yeah, I'm just literally going to take some photos, and then I'm going to pull the power supply and the chassis out, and we'll have a look at it on the bench. And it's really dusty in here, and it's hurting my throat. Yeah. I've taken the cover off and actually started to look round, and it's actually not that bad. This actually doesn't look like it's got a huge amount of hours on it. Yes, it's a bit dusty and dirty, but that's down to storage. But yeah, it's not heat damaged. It seems to be quite reasonable. What I have noticed is that down here we have a blown cap. It's puking its guts out everywhere, and that's probably what the smell was. So we've got a nice little dome on it, bit of seepage, and it looks like my waistline when I try and put on a pair of old trousers. So yeah, it's most of these caps look fine. There's a couple down here which I might replace. It always tends to be the low microfarad high voltage ones that seem to be driven hard and then cause problems. So the PTC for the degaussor, full bridge rectifier. Yeah, you got these packages here which are basically either the horizontal and vertical. Don't know which one is which, but I think I might have some spares of these from older Sonys. Yeah, it's alright. For some reason this thing here is in a silicone sheath of some sort. I don't know why, and I've got no idea what that thing is, not without splitting it open and having a look. That's a big ass diode there, very big diode. Yeah, even the flyback doesn't look that bad. It's I wouldn't call this a high hour set. Just stored badly by the looks of it. Yeah, inductor, a few big high ceramic caps. So these are little inductors. Yeah, it was an absolute mess to get it all out. It took me quite a while to get it out, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and test these with the ESR meter and see what values we get. This one is definitely going to be replaced literally right now, and I'm going to look for any other sort of high voltage low value. So 220 sorry, that's yeah, 220 microfarad up 25 volts. That's probably fine for what we're trying to do here. 100 microfarad, 16 volts. These are all relatively low. They'll probably be fine. It just tends to be the ones where on the heat sources and stuff like that. So okay, yeah. What I'll do is, actually, hang on. Let's have a quick look at the. Yeah, we've got a 10 volt 250 there as well, which I'll replace. I'll replace the netball capacitors. All tend to suffer just through sheer heat. So yeah, so I'll replace that 10 microfarad 250. That's a 10 microfarad 250 as well. I think I've got enough. But yeah, let's replace that. Have a look, check a few of the other ones, and then we'll put this thing back together again and see what happens. So if you're looking for an indication on how worn out or how used your tube is on your CRT tube, look for the electron gun here, clean off the glass and have a look. And you've got all these different bands here. The one you're interested in is the one right at the start here. And if it's significantly different from the other ones, then it's possible your tube is worn out. And that's because underneath that ring there are the heaters for the electron gun, and if the tube has been in use for a long time, that metal changes colour. It can go even to like a bluey state if it's really worn out, and some tubes wear out faster than others. So just check your electron gun there, and if you can easily see the difference. This one is slightly darker than these ones here. So I've got this monitor back together again. Everything's all back, all plugged in. I've replaced the 10 microfarad 250 volt capacitor that popped. I'm not going to do the one here. I might do actually, I'm not sure yet. Let's see what happens when it actually fires up. Yeah, everything's back in, so literally I'm just about to plug the power in. It's off at the moment. So plug that back in, and let's put you up on the camera stand, and you can watch the fireworks if there's going to be any. Okay, let's power on. That's off. Power's applied. Here we go. Nothing. What have I done wrong? Oh, I know why. Yeah, I've got to turn the isolation transformer on. That's better. 5.3 watts. Here we go. Well, we're not getting any smoke or anything, and we're not getting, I can hear high voltage. There is definitely something there. So if I, no. Oh, there is a picture. There is something. I saw a flash. Okay, let me just put you on to 60 hertz. So I've got a test card going into this. Let's see whether we get a picture. You ready? All plugged in. Scott's plugged in. Here we go. So after some fiddling around, I finally worked out that the red gun has gone on this tube. Yeah, it's pretty dead. I'm going to check for dodgy solder joints and connections and stuff like that. We're just not getting anything there at all. That should be red. So if we go to test, and we go down to, it looks very green right now when it shouldn't be. As you can see, look, if I go to, that's red. Nothing. Green. Blue. Yeah, that's red. What a shame. I'm going to check it, see whether I can actually check it with the CRT tester as well, if I've got the actual connection. Otherwise, the rest of it is okay. Like the actual, the green and the blue. Yeah, there's just nothing at all. Is that white? No, it's weird colour. What a shame. Convergence is off down here, a little bit up there. Okay. Linearity seems okay, but yeah, weird. Okay. Right, okay, let's see what else I can do with this. So with no red gun showing, I sort of suspected the gun itself, the actual tube itself. However, I did notice a load of corrosion, and then when I was slowly trying to work out what was going on, let's just go in, let's zoom in, there we go. So you can see there was a whole load of corrosion on these three diodes. and then when I was slowly picking away at the, there's got like a little rubber pad, there's a little sticky pad which is finally solidified after all these years, and again just picking away at it, the whole joint came away. In fact, it's ready to actually fail right now. The other joints are starting to go, so I've got to somehow repair this. It's going to be interesting. Looks like a lot of corrosion underneath these ones as well. I'm just picking away at the pads so I can see more and more corrosion on the board. So I'm just going to try and do my best and see whether I can get all these components sorted. It's not looking good. Okay, so these little diodes have corroded away, but the legs are sort of just about there. As you can see, some of the legs have really corroded away. So what I'm doing is I'm attaching new wire, and I'm sort of J-hooking what's left of the legs on these diodes onto this fresh wire, and I'm then going to use that to try and fix the television. So over here I have taken away as much solder as I can. We've got one little track here I think I'm not going to be able to solder, and I'm going to have to do a bodge wire or something like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, really, and this is all down to those little sticky pads that end up corroding everything. Well, that was fiddly as hell. So I have soldered on, and J-hooked and soldered on extension wires onto what's left of the diodes that got corroded. So I'm going to try and now work out what direction the diodes went, which is another problem. So yeah, that's going to be interesting, and there's no service manual for this anywhere as far as I can tell. So yeah, looking at the existing diode which is there, I'm not sure whether it goes that way actually, because they were all, let me just get my pointer. So three of the diodes were attached, the three diodes attached there, which I think is the ground, or 12 volts coming in, and then that then supplies those three. I don't think that was involved, or any of those two. I think it's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to look through my videos of what I've already recorded and see whether I can see a glimpse of how they were. But yeah, they just literally disintegrated in as soon as I even remotely touched them. I should have taken a photograph beforehand. But yeah, so this is the 12 volt line in to the IC1001 for each of the three connections going in. So yeah, but interesting thing is that one, that looks like ground, and that's connected there. It might have been that one, I'm not sure, I just don't know. No, I don't think it's that one. I think it is that one. Could be that one, don't know. I need to go and find out. I need to I've probably got a reference board somewhere, another board similar to this, so I need to go and check, and also check the actual IC1001, what it is, and get the service or the schematics for it. So joy, 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 joy. Wow, this is janky as hell. Yeah, it's the best I can do. It's fairly crappy. I got no bones here. Please complain. This isn't a great fix, but it is a fix. I actually looked back on a video and found the orientation. I think one of those dials has got a chip out of it. I'm not sure. But yeah. Looks like a huge, great big growth out the side of the board. There we go. As you can see, it's not brilliant, but let's see whether it fixes it. Board is back in, all plugged in. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Video source in, it's plugged in, switch power on. Does it go bang? still just as bad. Well, I tried. That was the main thing. I do think the red gun on this tube has gone, and also the that circuit board has got a lot of corrosion on it, and those damaged diodes and stuff like that. Is it worth it? I don't think so. Luckily, I've got another set to actually play with. I've got 2 of these to try and make one, so it might be a case of just swapping stuff in and out. Real shame, but it is what it is. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this TV or this monitor to one side, bring the other one in on another video, and we'll have a look at the next one and see what state that one's in. It's very interesting that those diodes do seem to be working-ish, but yeah, just no red gun. No red gun at all, so hey ho. Right, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you'd like this type of thing, and I will see you on the next video.